بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا ومولانا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد. This is lesson 3 of the introduction to the Tarbawi Tafsir. This talk is entitled Role of the Scholar Teacher. After mapping out the learning journey for the student, the main role of the scholar teacher is to shorten the distance. طي المسافات. When we don't grasp the role of the scholar teacher, what we end up doing is falling into self-teaching. And if a student were to attempt to self-teach and read on their own, the result is disastrous. Because what will happen is they will reach a destination that they define and consequently consider themselves successful, whereas the reality is that they're actually completely lost. As the saying goes, if it isn't broken, then don't fix it. So if we can't recognize what is broken, we'll never attempt to fix it. And this is the essence of why bid'ah, or blameworthy innovation, is much more dangerous than ignorance. And it is also why I translate bid'ah as a foreign infusion, like a disease invading the body, while sacred scholarly progress we term as fruitful innovation. So both are FI, one is a good FI and the other is not so great. And the foreign infusion, FI, is really akin to AI, artificial intelligence, artificially intelligent knowledge and spirituality. Sacred knowledge and prophetic inheritance, on the other hand, is real, and it is quite beyond computation. Furthermore, even as a legitimate student progresses on the path of knowledge, they should be seeking teachers that can take them to the destination faster and more effectively. This is an almost extinct adab of knowledge in our times. Practically speaking, if reading on one's own, in theory, could lead the student to the destination in 5 years, studying with a senior teacher will get you there in 2 years or even less. قال الإمام النووي في شرحه على مسلم: ومذاكرة حاذق في الفن ساعة أنفع من المطالعة والحفظ ساعات بل أيام, which means gaining or reviewing knowledge with an expert in an Islamic science for just 1 hour is more beneficial than reading and researching on one's own for hours or even for days. This shows how precious senior scholars are to the ummah and how essential. And that's why we have to stay connected to them, because they know the roads and they know the pitfalls and they know how to shorten distances, because in their beautiful prophetic concern and humility, they use their mistakes to teach better and to pass the torch on to the next generation of scholars, so that the ummah continues to progress and escapes from stagnation. Now beware, some teachers will present the material with wowing points. شيء مبهر ملفت. They want to catch people's attention. They want to direct people to that which is obscure. This is not ilm. Ilm is a path that is systematic. And a good teacher isn't the one who's going to pull out a needle in a haystack and say, did you know that Sheikh Fulan from the 5th century Hijrah said such and such, which is so peculiar among the views of all the other scholars and what they've mentioned regarding this mas'ala. So then why are you mentioning such a specialized view to a general audience? Do the students have encyclopedic knowledge of the views of the ulama of that century even, let alone all of Islamic scholarly history, such that mentioning this random point is beneficial? No, that's not the way to learn fiqh, that's not the way to learn tafsir, that's not the way to learn anything, really. So ilm is a systematic path of learning. And so-called social media learning does the opposite. It pulls things out of the air. And this is worse than randomness, because instead of integrating religion, it scatters it by making it subservient to the tides of polemical conflict or online fandom, or whatever it may be that feeds the flames of frivolity. Sadly, many online religious figures breach this principle on a daily basis. So, it is very important to understand the role of the scholar-teacher, which is to take you from the beginning to the destination, and to do so in the most effective way possible.